Ram Ram. Prabhupada. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5th. Chapter 5th is called Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness. Looks this fourth chapter, third and fifth chapter looks alike. Third chapter is Karma Yoga, and in Sanskrit, fifth chapter Karma Sannyas Yoga. Here Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. Sanskrit meaning Karma Sannyas. Outwardly performing all actions, but inwardly renouncing their fruits. The wise man, purified by the fire of transcendental knowledge, attains peace, detachment, forbearance, spiritual vision, and bliss. So, Arjuna is asking one question. We are also reading Bhagavad Gita. As there, after hearing chapter 4, is there any question came in your mind? One question came in Arjuna's mind. In the beginning of third chapter, he asked one question. What is the question? You are saying bhakti is the best, then why you are telling me to fight? Then Krishna explains karma yoga. After that, explain bhakti yoga. Still that doubt is not clear. The same question is again asked by Arjuna. Please clarify me. Out of the both, which one I should do? The fight or bhakti? That means Arjuna is thinking bhakti and fight is different. That is more clarification of karma yoga. Arjuna was Sannasam karma yoga Krishna. Sannasam karmanam Krishna. Punarjogam cha sangsasi. Jatra etai rekam tanme bhi sunishit. In third chapter, Nishchitam Britanme. Nishchitam. Here, Krishna Arjuna again asking same question that is again Sunishchitam. Third chapter, Nishchitam. But here telling Sunishchitam. Arjuna said, Sannyasam, renunciation, karmanam of all activities, Krishna, O Krishna. Puna again, Jagam, devotional service, Cha also. Shangshashi, you are praising. Jat which share is more beneficial. Etoy, of these two, ekam one, tat that may unto me. Bruhi, please tell. Shunishitam, definitely. Sannyasam, karma yogam Krishna. Sannyasam, karma yogam Krishna. Sannyasam, karma yogam. And punar yogam cha sangsasi. Again yogam. That means the sannyas or yoga. Jat etoi rekam. Among the two, one, etoi means etoi of these two, ekam only one. Bruhi, tell me. Huh? Definitely, Sunishita. Oh Krishna, first of all, you ask me to renounce work. Sannyasam karmanam. Sannyas means renunciation. Sannyasam karmanam, give up all activities. But again, as a punar, again you are telling Jogam. So, first of all, you ask me to renounce one. Sannyasam karmanam. And then again you recommend work with devotion. punarjogam, again work. One time you say, give a work, again you are telling work. Means for devotion. Now, will you kindly tell me definitely which of the two is more beneficial? Which one is more beneficial? In the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that work, devotional service is better than dry mental speculation. Devotional service easier than the latter because being transcendental in nature, it frees one from reaction. In 2nd chapter, preliminary knowledge of the soul and its entanglement in the material body were explained. How to get out of this material entanglement by Buddhi or devotional service was also explained here. There. In the 3rd chapter, it also explained that a person who is situated on the platform of knowledge no longer has any duties to perform. And in the 4th chapter, the Lord told Arjuna that all kinds of sacrificial work culminate in knowledge. I'm reading again. In the 2nd chapter, preliminary knowledge of the soul and its entanglement in the material body were explained. Soul, from 11 verses. How to get out of this material entanglement by Buddhi Yoga. After that, in the 40th, 41st verse, in 2nd chapter, explain Vyavashatmika Buddhi. And Shalpam Vish Dharmasya Trayata Mahatmaya. That Buddhi Yoga actually devotional service was explained. In 2nd chapter, about how soul entangled and how delivered by Buddhi Yoga. And 3rd chapter explained that a person who is situated on the platform knowledge no longer has any duties to perform. Even proper knowledge, no need of duty. Krishna explained. And in the 4th chapter, Lord told Arjuna that all kinds of sacrificial work culminate in knowledge. However, at the end of the 4th chapter, the Lord advised Arjuna to wake up and fight. At the end of the 4th chapter, wake up and fight. Being situated in perfect fight, being situated in perfect knowledge. Therefore, by simultaneously stressing the importance of both work in devotion and inaction in knowledge, Krishna has perplexed Arjuna and confused his determination. Arjuna understands that renunciation in knowledge involves cessation of all kinds of work. That was a misunderstanding. Arjuna understands that renunciation in knowledge involves cessation of all kinds of work performed as sense activities. But if one performs work in devotional service, then how is work stopped? But if one performs work in devotional service, then how work is stopped? In other words, it thinks that sannyas or renunciation in knowledge should be altogether free from all kinds of activity. Sannyas means no activity. Because work and renunciation appear to him to be incompatible. For everyone, work and renunciation appears him to incompatible. People think two are different. Either work, either renunciation. But how both are real? That answer will give him vacation. He appears not to have understood that work in full knowledge is non-reactive. He appears not to have understood that work in full knowledge is non-reactive and is therefore the same as inaction. He inquires, therefore, whether he should cease work altogether or work with full knowledge. That is his question. Whether he should cease work altogether or work with full knowledge. Now, Krishna is giving nice answer. Sri Bhagavan. Sannyasa karma yogascha nisriyasya karobho tayastu karma sannyasat karma yoga vishisya. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the personality of Godhead, said, Sannyasa, renunciation of work, karma yoga, work in devotion, cha also, nisriyasya karo, leading to the path of liberation. Ubho, both, tayo, of the two, but karma sannyasa, in comparison to the renunciation of fruitive work, karma yoga, work in devotion, bhishat is better. So two things. One is karma sannyas, and karma yoga. These two Arjuna's question. Let's try to understand it. Among these two, which one is Vishishat is better? That is Arjuna's question. Which one is better? Karma sannyas means renunciation of fruitive work. And karma yoga means work in devotion. One place, work, fruitive work should be renounced. Another place, work in devotion. Actually, here is not complete contradictory. Here, renounce fruitive work, not all work. That is the secret. Sannyas, giving a renounce, not from work. This is fruitive work. And karma yoga, work in devotion. That means work is there. Which one is better? Karma yoga. One can practice both. But now Krishna will give nice comparison. The personality of Godhead replied, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. But of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work. Like you can see, give up cooking and cook for Lord and offer bhoga and eat. Which one is better? Fruitive activities seeking sense gratification are cause for material bondage. As long as one is engaged in activities aimed at improving the standard of bodily comfort, one is sure to transmigrate to different types of bodies, thereby continuing material bondage perpetually. Srimad Bhagavatam confirms this as follows. Nunang pramatta kurute vikarma jat indriya pritaya aprinoti na sadhumanne jat atmano ayam asanna vikleshada ashade parabhavas tavat avoda jato javat na jiggashata atmatattam javat kriyas tavat idam manavoi कर्मात्मकं जन शरीर बंध एवं मनो कर्म वशं प्रयुक्ते अविद्यात्मनि उपधीयमाने प्रीति न जावत मयि वासुदेवे न मुच्यते देहो जोगेन तावत. People are mad at sense gratification and they do not know that this present body, which is full of miseries, is a result of one's spiritual activities in the past. Although this body is temporary, it is always giving one trouble in many ways. Therefore, to act for sense gratification is not. One is considered to be a failure in life as long as he makes no inquiry about his real identity. As long as he does not know his real identity, he has to work for fruitive results for sense gratification. And as long as one is engrossed in the consciousness of sense gratification, one has to transmigrate from one body to another. Although the mind may be engrossed in fruitive activities and influenced by ignorance, one must develop a love for devotional service to Ashuta. Only then can one have the opportunity to get out of the bondage of material existence. Therefore, jnana means knowledge that one is not this material body, but a spirit soul. That jnana. Therefore, that knowledge about the soul, this jnana is not sufficient for liberation. One has to act in the status of a spiritual soul, spirit soul. Otherwise, there is no escape for material bondage. Action in Krishna consciousness is not, however, action on the fruitive platform. Activities performed in full knowledge strengthen one's advancement in real knowledge. Without Krishna consciousness, mere renunciation of fruitive activities does not actually purify the heart of a conditioned soul. As long as the heart is not purified, one has to work on the fruitive platform. But action in Krishna consciousness automatically helps one escape the result of fruitive actions so that one need not descend to the material platform. Therefore, action in Krishna consciousness is always superior to renunciation, which always entails a risk of falling. Who is renunciation the chance of falling? But action in Krishna consciousness, there is no. Renunciation without Krishna consciousness is incomplete. As is confirmed by Sri Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He has given the definition of false renunciation or markot vairagya. Prapanchika taya buddha hari sambandhi vastuna mumukshuvi parittaga vairagyam phalupattati. When persons eager to achieve liberation renounce things related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thinking them to be material, their renunciation is called incomplete. Renunciation is complete when it is in the knowledge that everything in existence belongs to the Lord and that no one should claim proprietorship over anything. One should understand that actually nothing belongs to anyone. Then why is the question of renunciation? Nothing belongs to us. What is the question of renunciation? One who knows that everything in Krishna's property is always situated in renunciation. Ubhadra Bengali song. Aprakrita anubhave hoy se vairagya. When you understand everything belongs to Krishna, that understanding is renunciation. Nothing belongs to him. So without that knowledge, if I say, I have given up, that means you have not able to given up your ownership. I have given up. Since everything belongs to Krishna, everything should be employed in the service of Krishna. This perfect form of action in Krishna consciousness is far better than any amount of artificial renunciation by the sannyasis of the Mayavadi school. So we should stop here. I'm busy today. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita, good.